We're live. Hi.
Hello.
Hi. This is Juliet here, and it looks like we've got our heads cut off, so
Let's do this.
we're just adjusting. Oh, that's better.
isn't it?
Yeah, we're just adjusting. We've got the most immense, interesting contraption here, very technical. We've got a table, a lampshade, a book, a towel, and a flower vase. Let's prop it up our phone for a wonderful Facebook Live video on trauma healing in action. Here I am with Marion, and Marion, I'm honoured that you're here on this training. I'm just amazed that you're here. And Marion, many of you already know, because I know you have lots of
friends.
Lots of friends and followers, yes. And Marion is a coach, a yoga teacher. I haven't got it right. Life coach.
Yes, you have.
Yeah.
No, I do public speaking.
Public speaking.
And health coach is the
and health
other label I carry.
Yeah. So she's kind of keeping me in line with my presentation today. So Marion's been doing the professional trauma skills training, which is a 6-module training, and here we are on module 2, which is about activation, and we've done the trauma healing spiral, therapy approaches, and this afternoon we're looking about what role memory plays in trauma and healing trauma. So that all sounds very technical, but actually we do loads of exercises.
Yeah, it's a really good balance actually.
Yeah.
Because I came already having quite a clear understanding at a superficial level of trauma.
Yeah.
And the interaction with fight and flight and freeze. I call it fight and flight and fleas. Just always seems to come out that way. And so to deepen that understanding has been amazing. And the content that we receive as teaching there's a lot of information, but it's been constructed in a really simple way and very clearly laid out the way the different modules are put together. And each aspect that we then go into in detail, we do an exercise. So it's not just about the content in my head. I've already got loads and loads of content in my head, but the content that I embody,
Yes.
which is where we gain real wisdom, isn't it? And real development of ourselves and our practices. That for me has been really the strongest part of this process.
Yeah, because I've taken all the research of the exercise, what's going on with my brain, the experts, and put it into an easily assimilatable form. But the important thing with healing trauma is to bring it into the body. It's a whole body experience, and those are the healing exercises that you do.
Yes. Yeah, they're very powerful, because not only are you embodying the teaching, but it's clearing your own trauma and pathways. And when I talk to clients, I have some clients who say, I don't really have any big traumas. And it's like they almost feel a bit of a fraud for having a problem because they don't have a big trauma. But I say to people that there are small traumas that we can get. And I use an ice cream falling on the floor when you're 3. That can be quite a traumatic experience. That can create quite a shock.
Yeah.
And so when you recognise that at that level, we've all got traumas, and then collectively in society, we've got the trauma of politics and stuff.
And plus the huge amount of trauma that everybody has is from a pre-verbal stage. It's like we may not have any recollection at all that we have trauma, but we do. But I just want to really clarify this point, because when people think about trauma, they think nothing bad has happened to me, but it's what is happening to you now, what is going on in your nervous system in this moment, because that's what the trauma is, not what has happened. So if you're getting frozen, fearful, anxious, agitated, your life is falling apart, or you can't think straight, or what else would you add?
There's lots of things. It's like you don't know what fun is. You don't know how to find joy. Or sometimes one of my big issues initially was trust. I didn't even know what it meant. I could intellectualise the concept of trust quite easily, and I could use the word. But as an experience, I really didn't have any connection to that experience. Yeah. And so for me, the journey to discover, how to trust and what does it mean in the body rather than just as words in the mind.
Exactly. So this is what trauma is, not the bad experience that might have happened that you can't remember. So if you have an issue with trust, it would indicate that there was some really early things going on that caused you not to trust,
Absolutely.
or caused me not to trust. Yeah, so it's looking at these clues in your everyday life as to whether there's something going on which makes you more constricted, less able to enjoy life, more fearful. And if that's going on, it's likely you have trauma.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And so that there's like in this training as well, there's lots of different light bulb moments. There's lots of aha moments of that's what that means, and that's why that happens, and that's it, part of my life experience. There was a lot of that in the books that you've suggested that we read as well. You're reading a book and suddenly it's like you're reading about yourself, or you're reading about your mum or somebody that you know really closely, when you can see the symptomatic expression of things. Yeah. And then underlying that, the cause of those things. And again, this is all just information. So to come here and to be able to do practices that are very specifically targeted at embodying the knowledge that you now have, the wisdom that you've gained from all of your experience of working with trauma and dealing with your own as well, and doing that so openly is really lovely, because we know today we were talking about feeling safe and not feeling judged. And I think that's really useful, that you can really clearly vocalise what your trauma journey has been for yourself, because then I don't feel like, I can't compare what I've got to you, but I don't feel that I need to compare it anymore.
No, because there's no experts. It's like we're all in this together, and building the connections with the group in itself is very, very healing and very supportive, because as human beings, we're herd animals and we need to be connected. And when we can reconnect, then that makes us feel powerful again and makes us feel safe again.
Yes, and reconnecting as the individual who doesn't have to compare myself to anybody else is so important, because we talked about that yesterday, didn't we? Autonomy is so important. This idea that I am me and it's okay for me to be me, and I shouldn't even try and be anything else, and I'm absolutely unique. So when I'm copying or when I'm trying to model other people, that's not about me being myself. And so exploring in the exercises that we do, what is it that this self that I am is experiencing? Because that's my truth. It's not in a book, and it's not, from the teaching. Exactly. It's from my experience, and that's the power. What are you
experiencing in your body? What is your body telling you about your story? And how can your body help you change that story so you can be more enlivened, so you can be more fully present?
And I think also that what's been really key is the tiny baby steps that we keep constantly taking. So it's like that drip, isn't it? The stalactite or the stalagmite. It's one tiny drip at a time that eventually can create a complete column that connects two surfaces together. But it's one drip at a time.
But that's a wonderful metaphor. So we talk all this slowly with trauma healing work, and I remember on a previous training someone being so frustrated because it felt like we were going so slow. But it's important to go slowly in order to really consolidate each step, and to have the space to really be able to tune in deeply to our bodies, because there are subtle clues there to listen to.
We just had an exercise before lunch where I was identifying with a stress response in my body and a safe response, and trying to have the two at the same time, and it felt like a fight in my body, because there was a bit going, no, I'm not letting go, no, I'm staying stressed, I'm here and I'm doing this thing, and I'm consciously connecting into the comfort of where I feel safe and where my body feels nice. And it really was quite a battle. But to just wait and just watch the battle or experience, the space between the two things was the key. And just to only achieve that in a sort of 10 or 15 minute time period, again, it feels like nothing. Well, I've got these 2 bits now, so what do I do next? It's like, well, you don't do anything next, you just wait with those 2 bits. Yeah, but I've got these 2, and this is all going on in my head, so what do I do now? I'll just wait here. No. It's really interesting to witness this in a dialogue, churning away.
But it's amazing. It's quite magical, because at the end, at the end of each module, people look so different. I mean, did you feel that?
Yeah, very. I felt. I even got told I looked sparkly when I walked into this room, and I was in the humour of this fight. And it was funny, it was really quite humorous. So I walked in here feeling really joyful, even though I'd had these two things. It was like, oh, this is really amusing.
Yeah.
You know, not taking it so seriously.
Yeah, it's really...
And that shows, doesn't it?
Yeah.
When you've lifted that load, that weight, it really does show.
Well, I think that's the real reward for me, is to see the incredible transformations that happen to people. I mean, even when I run a therapy session, when somebody comes in and they're all dejected and so on, and at the end of the 2 hours they go out and their postures change and their face is lit up and that. But even more so after these trainings, at the end of the 6 months, that 6 modules, that people look so different.
Yes, yeah.
So what do you feel, what's the biggest application for you, Marion, with the work that you've done with me?
Aspect of just to tune in, to have that body experience, and to allow this idea of the felt sense, it's called, isn't it? And just to recognise that experience of the felt sense is the work. Yeah. That's the work. Yeah. To just feel it. Yeah. And our language isn't developed well, and we talk, and even when I ask clients, so how does that feel? And we immediately go into a thought. Yeah. We don't access what the feeling is. We connect to the feeling, and the thought that comes out of it is what we then express. But that's not a feeling. Usually it's a thought or a judgment or an idea. Yeah.
So for you to have more of a connection to your own felt sense.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it just makes it so much easier when I know that when I'm embodying something, I don't feel like I have to teach it to people. It becomes a shared experience quite naturally. There's that ripple effect that we talked about that happens.
So as you become, I mean, you who are listening, when you do this work and you get more and more in your bodies and more healed, you don't have to go out and, the expert or whatever. If you can sit with open mind and sit with an embodied experience of your own healed state, then it's going to dramatically change everyone around you. And that's the magic, really.
Yeah, it is. It's like, I know that when I've done a big clearing, it's almost like everybody around me has a personality transplant. It's not me, obviously. It's just everybody else.
Yeah. So do we want to share anything else with these lovely people who are taking their time on this Sunday lunchtime, distracting them away from the sunshine? And here we are, we're in our lunch break, and the sun is outside, and everybody's out there lying on the grass, aren't they?
Yeah, it's such a lovely location.
With a big full tummy. And yes,
big full belly full of delicious food. Well, that's a really nice thing to share, actually, with everybody. If you've not done any work with Juliet, or you don't know anything about what she does, the work is amazing, the location is beautiful, and the food is just delicious.
That should
You're
get
an
them.
amazing cook, really, really amazing cook.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it's just so good. I got a chance to make a potion today as well. I made a tea with different herbs. So you pulled a few herbs out of the cupboard, and and it was really lovely. And I had no idea what the ingredients
were. But they're all herbs that I've gathered from the garden and dried and things.
Absolutely, and that makes a huge difference. Nothing, the travelling affects the quality of all sorts of substances and foods, doesn't it? And because it's straight from the garden and straight into the teapot, it's magic.
I'm a bit of a witch. I like to gather my herbs. So, should we let them go?
We should let them go. What's Facebook telling us? It's
I don't know.
Do you want to tag Alison Black in this video? Does that mean Alison's watching? Hello, Alison, if you're watching. How can we see who's been watching? Oh, look, we've got questions. Corinne Parry is watching.
All the way from Spain. Hi,
wow.
Corinne. Hi.
Hello, we'll wave at
It's
Corinne.
Good job Marion's here, because that's all too small for me to see.
But I've got my glasses on so I can see now. Yeah. Priya Calais, we've just waved. Hello, Priya.
Hi.
And Rhonda Lee Fleming is watching
hi.
as well.
Oh my, it's such a long time since I've spoken to you.
There we are.
How are you?
She's saying...
Yeah.
Bring them on camera. Oh, these are that's what Facebook is asking us to do. I think the broadband might die if we do. So yes, anybody who hasn't come, and that the place where I'm staying just down the road from here.
The Healing Water Sanctuary.
Healing Water Sanctuary, and it's beautiful because you can't see behind us. Actually, I wonder if I just do this. If you can see, I bet you they can. Can you see the beautiful landscapes out there? This is Avalon.
Yeah, the ancient Isles.
Ancient Isle of Avalon. Yeah, I think they could see that.
Yeah, it's very magical here.
So it's such a beautiful location, and the land, like, it just feels clean.
That's all that water that keeps coming
Yeah,
down.
it feels clean,
Yeah.
but energetically as well. It doesn't feel like there's been loads of stuff going on it.
Yeah.
Somebody was saying that there's not been any war around here, and so the land isn't tainted with the energy of war. That's very interesting. I don't know if it's true, but I like the sound of it.
I like the sound of it, yeah. War should be out of date by now. It's such a nonsense, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And the biggest cause of trauma.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow,
but that will lead us to a whole nother
brilliant
discussion.
Conversation.
Great conversation, but I think I'll keep it for another video when I share my views and understandings of war. So, thank you for listening.
Yes.
And big love to you all, wherever you are. And I know some of you have been going through really rough times, difficult times. So just letting you know that I'm here to support. Just send me a message. Big hugs. Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. We're going now. Bye.